So today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to add your own custom music and sound effects to Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Obviously, this is PC only, even if you have a modded console. So if you thought like that's what you were going to get coming into this video, it is not that type of video. But I'm going to start off real quick. So the first thing you want to do is get your audio and your sound effect. Now, I want to troll a little bit. This is what we're going to be using. Yes, we're using the 6-7 sound effect. Oh my god, this is so hard for me, bro. It's very rare I do a tutorial. So yes, we're gonna be using the 6-7 sound effect for somebody's character select screen audio. So the first thing you gotta do is set up the audio. Now, most people will probably tell you, use Audacity. Now, I also have Audacity myself and use it from time to time. There's an easy way of setting up everything. Like if you just want to like master music for global release, like I use it for that because it has like a bunch of like, quick tips, or not quick tips, but like basically you press 4 buttons in Audacity, you can master a song, So I like it for that, and sometimes I use it for like Wii U modding, right? But I found it just easier to use my editing software, which is Premiere. I just kind of drag it in here. Let me get it real quick. I kind of just drag it in here and I find the exact spot I want. It's just easier to do it in an editor because you get so much more free range of what you can actually do and cut it to like exactly how you want it. So I'm going to cut up the part I need real quick and then we'll come back.
Belt rate to they behind the way that switch, I know he dying.
There it is. There's a part.
6-7. I just bit rate on the highway.
That's the audio we're using.
6-7. I just bit rate on the highway.
And obviously also in Premiere, so I like a little fade, so it's like cleaner.
6-7. I just bit rate on the highway.
Now, I think this audio might already be loud enough.
I just bit rate on the highway.
Cause it's
6-7. I just bit rate on the highway. 6-7.
But normally, if the audio you're using is if it's not reaching the peaking level, then you probably need to master it, right? Now, I forgot what is just straight up mastering. Okay. If you look in Premiere, there's something called mastering. You just apply that, right? Click edit, and then you change the gain down here until it comes out like peaking almost. But when you listen back to the audio, make sure it doesn't sound crunchy. It's just supposed to be like very loud. It's okay for it to be very loud because the game will adjust it how it adjusts it. But you always want to make sure it's very loud, it's hitting that red bar every time. Because if it's not, it'll sound like it's super quiet in the game, right? I'm pretty sure the preset I put on here was subtle clarity. And then, as you can see up here, I have plus 6-7, plus 3, plus 12 dB. Just presets to make it quicker. And how you make a preset is you edit the setup, right click, save preset, name it okay, it'll pop up here. And then you can just drag it. But obviously it's gonna
6-7.
So just Control Z to undo that. If you want to redo it, it's Control Shift Z, right? Simple as that.
6-7.
Me doing it by 2 didn't seem to like make it sound crunchy.
Just bit rate on the highway.
It's just always maxing out now, which is a good thing, right? So now you want to export it. Give it a name. So I'm gonna just say 6-7. I know y'all gonna hate me for this tutorial. I'm just gonna put it on the desktop for this tutorial. Now presets, you want to click on Wave 48 kilohertz 16-bit, It has to be a WAV file. You cannot use MP3s, .oggs, all that. You can't use that when it comes to making like anything audio related for Sonic. Everything's a WAV. That's just how it is. Okay, so if you're trying to do this, you're skipping steps, and you realize you're not using a WAV, that could be a big reason why it's not working. So always make sure it's actually a WAV. Then we got it here.
6-7. I just bit right on the highway.
The next step is using F-Model. Now, F-Model, it's like the main thing you're going to be using for all your modding adventures. It doesn't matter what you're doing, or that be text changes, music, models. You're going to need F-Model. So let me show you how to set up real quick. Now, when you first open it, it's not going to look like this. Mine is already set up. It's going to like look like this. It might have Valorant or Fortnite up here. What you want to do is in the directory, you want to aim it at your Sonic Crossworlds. Now, I have the Steam version, so as a Steam pat, this pat is always the same for everybody, so you don't have to worry about, it being weird for copying with me, unless you have a separate drive you put, unless you have a separate drive you have Sonic Crossroads on. I mean, if you do have it on a separate drive, it probably just won't say like program files, so it'd be like D or F, Steam Apps Common, Sonic Racer Crossroads Union. Union is just a code name for the game, but that is Sonic Crossroads. And when you also do this, you want to make sure you have game UE5_4. It stands for Unreal Engine 5.4, which is the Unreal Engine version that Sonic Racing Crossroads runs on. And for detected game, you can usually just change this to whatever you want. See how it obviously fucks up everything. Sorry for cursing to my younger audience. But you see, it messes up everything when you change the name, because that name will forever be tied to that game. So yeah, you can have this be Union or Sonic Racing Crossroads or Sonic Crossroads. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it won't be as just simple as doing this. Sometimes you gotta do it down here. I forgot like the condition for it, but just enter the name of the game, enter the directory. It'll pop up here. Then you just add the game version, which is UE5_4, Unreal Engine 5.4. And it'll figure it out all on its own. After that, you want to go to settings. You want to do your settings just like mine, right? Everything, well, don't touch output directory, because that's done automatically based on your computer. It's just where it outputs the file. You don't need to worry about that right now. Discord rich presence, if you don't want people to know you're on F-Model, you can just put never. I just left it on always. That's the default. Make sure all this is the same. And here's the local mapping file. You're going to need this so F-Model knows how to structure the Sonic Racing Crossword files. If you don't have this, it's not going to work how you want it. So I left the download link in the subscription. You just download this, extract it. Don't just click on the folder. Make sure you actually extract it. And then once it's extracted, you put it in a safe place. I have it in my Sonic Crossroads modding folder. The wrong one, might I add, but don't worry about that. Then you select it. You just click the three dots and then you select the file, and then it'll come up like this. And then you want to enable local mapping file. Make sure this is enabled or it won't use it. And then in here, just copy everything. Make sure your mesh format is Actor X. Export bone sockets as bones, first level only, yada, yada, yada. That's just so whenever you export everything, it exports correctly, and you can actually use it in the softwares like the tool set you get for modding Crossworlds. And then keybinds is personal preference, but I just click around. I don't use keybinds. So that's done. Your F-Model is almost set up. Just one last thing. You got to come back up here to directory, click AES, and then you want to enter the AES key. I'll also have this down in the description. Maybe as a notepad on Google Drive. I don't know like how against, they are with the AES key being public. So I might make it a .txt file in this like little package neatly Google Drive. But yes, or you can just copy this long ass thing from like the video here, but yeah, press OK, and then that basically, well, y'all know what a key does, right? It opens things, you know. So basically, it decrypts all the files inside Racing, because otherwise, if you don't have the key, you won't be able to click on anything. Well, that's just empty, but you won't be able to click anything on like this, right? So what you want to do is come up here to loading mode, click all, load, and then it's gonna go like this, right? You're gonna see like all the files and like paths like as you would normally, right? So I'm actually gonna characters are very straightforward. You just search for their name. If you're doing music tracks, well, it kind of be like something like BGM underscore something. As you can see right there, there's my Ocean View Night mod. Well, Night Track mod. For the people who know I made that mod, I didn't make Ocean View Night. I just made the music for that mod, which is a separate mod not tied to the original creator, Bova. But, you know, for Ocean View, it's BGM underscore STG 1001. Now, I'll explain more on how to find the map ones since they're like numbered, right? In the next video. But this video, we're just focused on characters. So I'm thinking, let's change the character thing for Tails. Because fuck Tails. Okay, is that mean? So to search for the character, you want to do voice underscore the first three letters of their name, then .awb or .cb, ACB, right? So I'm just gonna do ACB, right? And this is Tails' voice. Now, when you do this, you're gonna need both the AWB and the ACB, right? As you can see here, it's telling you like where you're getting this from. So I'm guessing, I don't know what this would be, but I'm guessing this is Tails' Dutch voice, is French voice, is Italian voice, is Japan voice. I'm just assuming from like the quotations. You can correct me, but you know, if you're English speaking, you want to take this one, right? That isn't in a separate folder, doesn't have like a language, you know. So extract that. Wow. Then you want to get the AWB too. Extract that. Wow. All right, we got them both now. You see right here in the bottom, it says successfully exported. What you want to do is click on the yellow or whatever color it is at the moment. It's like a hyperlink. Once you click it, it'll open up the folder where it was exported to. So we got both the Tails AWB and ACB now. So now we can edit his voice lines and yeah. The next thing you're going to want to get is the Union Audio Modding Toolkit. So let's just put these in here for easy, work. Now this, I explained this in due time, but it doesn't really help for the tutorial. At least not right now. All right, so notice so don't worry about what I got in here right now. Just Mail's thing, the main thing is the Tails voice, right? So the first thing you're going to want to do is get the voice tail or whatever character pick, ACB, and drag it into ACB editor. What it's going to do is make all the audio streaming files like available to you. Now, when you do this, you're not going to know what this means, so don't touch it yet, right? What you want to do is get something called Foobar. Foobar 2000. I'll also have a link for that in the description. And when you get Foobar, you want to go to File, Preferences, and also add the component I'll have in the description as well. You just click Install, click the component. You'll have it in your downloads when you download it, right? And then it'll probably like a few options. You just click, Install, Apply. Okay, now you have the component so you can actually play the audio files and do that, right? Now, to view everything in the Tails voice line stream, you want to get the AWB specifically, not the ACB, the AWB. You drag it in the Foobar, and then you see every audio Tails has, and you can play each one. So the one we want to change is the character select, right? Because that's simple to wrap y'all head around before, we start doing advanced stuff. Because with characters, they have a lot of voice lines. Because they do a lot of things. They have a voice line for almost everything. I'm struggling right now to make a voice lines mod, because it's just so much. But we're going to change its character select. Now, you see in Fubar, it says voice_tie number 10, right? So this is his 10th voice line. Now, you want to keep that number in mind when you're doing this, right? So let's go back and get our 6-7. This is also a useful thing. If you just click in your files and you click the first letter of something, you can find it. So I found Fortnite by clicking F3 times. And I found the 6-7 audio by clicking 6, and it immediately went to it. This cool little Windows thing, put y'all on. So now we have the 6-7 audio back.
6-7. I just bit right on.
Y'all gonna hate me. And then once you have your audio, you're gonna want to put that in input. Now, once it's in input, right? Let me delete these. Those are deleted. We're just working with the 6-7. We leave that in input. Now that we got only the 6-7 in input, we'll leave that there, right? Then the next thing you want to do is right click on voice_tail, click rename, and then click Control-C. Now you gotta have them both click off at the same time. You can't press them one by one. So, or you can type it too. But basically after that, you want to click on convert to union.bat. You want to enter the ACB name. I'm just going to click Control-V because that copied the exact name. But you can just sit there and enter voice_tie. You can just do that. It doesn't matter, right? And then you'll get a new file and output. Now, so .hcs, it's readable by, the tail streaming, right? Now, we're supposed to change voice line number 10. But as you can see, when you go into the voice_tail folders, the streaming works a little bit different. It starts from 0. So I'm sure you guys see where this is going. Instead of 10, you're going to go to 9 because it starts from 0. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some people get confused with that one, but it's simple as that. It starts from 0 instead of 1. So you treat 0 as its 1, right? Now, what you want to do here, you want to take the name for the streaming that you want. So we're going to take 09 streaming. We're going to change the 6-7 name to that. Boom, right? And then we want to delete the streaming file we're replacing. Because sometimes just dragging it in breaks it. So just delete it just to be sure. And then you want to come back to it. You want to right click, cut. Click on the folder, paste. And then it's in here now. Just like that. Now you want to click edit, clear, right? And then you want to drag the folder into ACB editor. That will update the ACB and the AWB. You want to open back Fubar, drag the AWB, see if it's changed.
6-7. I just bit right on the highway.
It's now changed, right? Now, when it gets changed, you're gonna want to make a folder structure, per se, right? I'm just gonna use the mod I'm working on right now to make this easy. But basically, you're gonna want to do union, content, prior data, and then whatever voice mod you're doing, right? Since this is for a totally different thing, I'm gonna delete all this. Don't worry about that, right? And we're gonna rename this as well. So we're gonna say audio modding tutorial. Wow, I actually spelled that. Now let me stop. So once you got the folder structure down, right? You're gonna come back here. You're gonna grab the files, cut them. It's simple as that. Just cut them. Don't copy. Right? Paste. Now you got them in here. Then the right, folder structure. You can come back out, drag the folder into Unreal Pack that bat. If the folder doesn't come with Unreal Pack, or you want to use Unreal Pack like separately, I'll put a download link for that where it's like a whole separate folder for Unreal Pack. So it's easier for doing when you want to do other mods. You know, you don't have to come back in this folder specifically all the time. But now that we've packed it, it'll come out as, well, because we named it, whatever you name the folder is going to be the name of the mod. You want to rename it though, and you want to put _P at the end. If you don't put _P at the end, the mod won't work. I couldn't tell you why. Maybe like _P is some sort of check or something, or like it enables it. But whatever it does, you're gonna want to put _P at the end, right? Now you want to go to your mods. Now, me personally, right? I manually mod my games. I don't use a mod manager. It's very rare I use a mod manager. Like you see, I got reload and stuff. If you were being nosy, you know, like for Sonic games, Persona, Minecraft. Well, no, Minecraft I manually mod as well. But basically, I just manually mod because I think it's a lot easier than trying to finick with some software, right? No disrespect to the creators of the mod managers, but I just had a horrible time with them, and it's so much easier to me just to manually do it. If you're wondering how I can just click it from here, I basically just went to the location, right click, pin the quick access, and it'll be right there for you at any time. You can just like, you know, drag it to your like desktop, but make sure it's like a shortcut. Make sure you do right click, create shortcut. I don't know where it went, but oh, there it is. And then you can move it to your desktop that way as well. That works. You don't want to move the actual file folder because then it's not going to be there anymore. So you got to make sure either pin the quick access, you have it right here, or you create a shortcut first. But I mean, just little tidbits there, you know, to help you out with Windows in general. So we got the mod right here. Just a little thing on manual modding. You can have basically mods that have more priority over the other. So you can go from 0 to 200, however much you want. The reason why my text changes mod, this is the mod pack version. Y'all don't have that one because I haven't released my mod pack yet. Well, basically, I have it at the bottom, so the text changes always pops up. But sometimes it can be a little finicky, and it's not as simple as just having it at the bottom. So I'm trying to figure out where I need to put my text changes right now so it does work while I have all my mods. Because I recently updated my text changes for the new update, but now it's being weird. So I got to figure that out. But enough with that. That's not part of the tutorial, right? Once you have that, you don't have to name the folder anything special, but you want a separate folder for each mod so it's easy to like go over, right? So I'm gonna just put this in the test folder, right? It's there. It's in my mods folder, right? Simple as that. You see all my other stuff. Self-explanatory, right? Now, once it's in here, you can actually go and test it out. So I'm going to show it Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Racing Crossworlds booted up. Compensation for errors, a random sticker. Okay, I guess. So I have none of my mods installed. Just so you don't die of brain rot, you know? Me stop. So, we're in Crossroads. Y'all like my text changes mod? I just got flex it real quick, you feel me? Yeah, a lot of people surprisingly liked it. I guess I'm not the only person that rather not be all caps loud in my face. But yeah. Anyways, to the main point.
6-7, I just bit right on the highway.
And that's how you do a very simple audio edit, basically. In the next video, I'll do more advanced stuff like music and stuff. But if you wanted to make your own character lines and stuff like that, that's just like how you do it. You can put multiple audio files in input. I just say go one by one to make sure like each audio file works and you don't have to be like confused about the whole thing. Let me close this real quick. Because sometimes your audio file might be messed up. So when you preview it in FooBar, it might sound like Robot Gargle. If it sounds like Robot Gargle in FooBar, there is something wrong with your audio file and you have to redo the audio file. Or you have to do something to it. Because that means it's messed up in some way or you weren't following the tutorial. That's the only two ways. If you're not following the tutorial or your audio file's messed up, right? Because even though you can hear it on like whatever like audio like media player you use on your Windows computer, Mac computer, Linux, even though it works fine, it might not work for the game. You might have messed up something up somewhere. It might not work, right? So that's that. Now, before we end the video, let's talk about AI characters. So AI characters, they're not as simple to edit. They all share one like sound bank because the AI they just gonna say beep boop beep boop, you know. So what you need is the AI Racers Voices template made by Satus or I don't know how to pronounce the name. He's my boy. I mess with him. We made a mod together. So obviously no hate. I just don't know how to pronounce his name like that. But he my boy though. Right? You want to get this right from him. I'm gonna just put a download link. Again, I'm just gonna make one big Google Drive of everything you may or may not need, right? For this tutorial specifically, the more advanced stuff we're gonna talk about in the next video, and we're gonna go over that, right? And I'm gonna put the links for the more advanced stuff in that description, right? But if you want to do AI voices, this is what you need, that template from him, right? Now we're just gonna move the 6.7 mod up here for a second. And you're gonna put this in here. Now, you're not gonna launch this. You're not gonna launch this as if like a mod. You're putting it in here so you can see it in Fmodel. So let's reopen Fmodel. Boom, load it. Y'all already know this by now, right? Search and then voice underscore. Now we see all the AI voices. Basically, what Satus did, he basically edited the ACB and the AWB to basically act like regular voice banks for the original characters. So basically, if you put this mod just like straight up on the game, then basically all the AI characters would have their regular voices again. Because that's what you edited to, basically. Right? So they'll work just the same. It's just some voice lines won't work. Because the game at the end of the day knows it's still an AI character. But when you edit the ACB, it allows them to play certain audios. So, obviously I got the Sonic AI one right here. This is what I'm trying to do with my Boom Sonic voice lines. Y'all know the Boom Sonic mod. A lot of people was hyped I was doing the voice lines. Sorry I took it off Game Banana. I just don't like Game Banana. And the moderators. No hate to the moderators necessarily. But it's like they don't explain stuff as they need to. And they kind of leave out a lot of information until people get upset about it or start spamming them. So just to avoid it, all my mods will forever be now on my Discord server. As simple as that. You can join a server, leave, do whatever. But if you want a mod for me, just come to my Discord server. Some of my mods are still up on Game Banana, but it says like guess something something or ghost. And obviously on the Crossworlds Hub Discord server, all my mods are up there still because it's not Game Banana moderation that owns that server. So obviously my mods are fine there. And they probably just have like looser restrictions anyways because it's Discord. Basically, for the AI ones, they work just the same as the regular ones that we just went over. It's the same process. Just know that some lines don't work at all. Like coarse comments and like character specific audio lines that'll say like Son to Tai, which is Sonic to Tail. So like if Tail hits Sonic, sounding like, come on, man, or something like that, right? Those specific voice lines, the coarse comments when they go to a certain map, something like that, that's not going to work. But boosts, tricks, and ceremony, which is what the victory thing you get at the end of the game, and some certain like rival voice lines work, and what you got when you finish a race, those audio lines work. When you finish a time trial, when you get a checkpoint, I think most of those still work. But that's the only really thing, and that's why I came to at the end. Because it's simple. If you follow the tutorial, it's as simple as that. Just know some of them don't work. You can talk to some people. You can talk to me in the comments about a specific one not working. You can talk to people in the Crossworlds hub server. But that's basically all you got to know about AI voices. And yeah, that's the tutorial. I suck at these. I don't know how I'm gonna cut this because I did so much dumb stuff, and not in a tutorial sense, but like I blanked a lot because I'm not used to just like sitting down and doing a video just trying to teach people stuff. It's very rare I do that. The last time I did this was for like 5M. Thankfully, that's not as like convoluted, so I got over with that video quickly. But this is a little more like you got baby step it a little bit, so you're just like, yeah. But overall, I feel like this would be the simplest to understand tutorial out there for everybody. So yeah.